Greetings all, another tutorial here for you. As always, if you've never watched it, my disclaimer for my tutorials is right down there with the link at the bottom. Watch that if you've never watched it before you watch any of my tutorials. Now for this trick, first thing we're going to have a card selected. So for this one I like to turn my back, hold the cards behind my back like this and say just grab about half the deck there for me and flip it face up. Like, cut the deck and turn it face up. Alright, so we go through the cards here. We'll find that first face down card that you cut to. Alright, and I'll let you all take a look at that. That goes back in the deck. I'll let the spectators shuffle it themselves. They can do whatever they want with it, mix it as much as they like. Okay, and then I'll take them back and I'm going to spread the cards out on the table. I'll use my magic locator coin here to try and find their card. I think right there we've got it. But just to make sure, I'm going to go through the rest of the deck here and look at the other cards. Now don't say anything if you think you see your card. I just want to get a quick look at all these here. Alright, so I think I'm still pretty confident I have your card under my coin over here. Of course, at this point, you're going to say, I don't think so. And they say, oh, I think I do. And they're still not going to believe you, but then you should look right there. Under my coin is your card. And this, of course, is just nothing. Now, the way this works is it's not a free choice at all. Use a force. I'll come back to this in a minute. The seven of spades, or whatever cards you want to use, goes on top of the deck. Now you can have it set up there ahead of time, or if it's in the middle of the deck somewhere, you can kind of just take the cards and casually, talk about, well, I've got all these different cards here, and cut it to the top. So you have the seven of spades on the top of the deck. You're standing with your back to the audience and have the cards behind your back, and ask them to cut off, about half the deck, turn it face up, and put it back on top of the others. Then you turn around, keeping your hand behind your back, so that it goes behind you, and it's out of view for just a couple seconds, a second or two. Not enough time to do anything, or at least so they think. As soon as it goes out of view, you do this move here. You kind of drag that top card with your thumb just a little bit, and you flip the rest of the deck over, but keeping that top card where you can see it. So at speed it would be like that. And when you do that, and you only do it once in performance, is the first face down card will be the original top card. And you want this card they've cut to visibly on top to stay the same, so if anyone's paying attention they won't think anything happened. And if you have something like this, if it was like a seven of diamonds and changed to a king of clubs or something like that, that's a pretty big difference. Someone will notice that even if they're not paying attention. So you need that top card to change, or to stay the same, I should say. Now, one thing to watch out for on this is if you've got a joker, smartass, heckler, whatever you want to call them in the audience, behind your back sometimes they'll do this. They'll grab half the deck off and put it back without flipping it over because they think they're funny. And then when you go to do the move, you end up with that. And now you look like an idiot and the trick is ruined. So if you're worried about that, or you think that might happen with who you're doing it for, or you're just having trouble getting this little move down, then what you want to do instead would be this one here, the double turnover force. You have the deck out in front of you, put it on the table, ask the spectator to grab a few cards and flip them face up and put them back on the deck. Now ask them to grab even more cards than they did before. Flip that over, put it back down the deck. So we've cut the deck twice to try and select a card. But when you go through the deck, after you do that, the first face up card will be, or first face down card I should say, will be the original top card. And the way that works, see, look, you flip one card and then flip two cards, you see. But you can flip any number, and then any number as long as it's more, and the first face down will be the top card. the original top card. Now to make this coin, use any coin you like. I recommend it needs to be at least this big, so you can't use like a dime or something because you want to get the name and the suit. Just take an old card from another deck and just cut this corner index out, and then a little super glue. Dribble some on the top of that, not on the back. Put it face down, dribble on top, and take a paper clip like this to smear it around. A nice thin, even coat over the whole back of the coin, or at least over the whole face of this, and a little more on the coin to make sure it sticks good. If you just glue it down by putting glue on the back of it, when this is in your pocket, it tears up this paper card. So if you coat it with super glue, then it will last a lot longer and you give you a nice finish. Don't put too much glue on there, like where it's measurably thick and it kind of puddles, because it won't dry evenly and it kind of starts to wrinkle up and it looks terrible. So I'd recommend using something like a Sacagawea dollar, or like I got a $50 here also. Something unusual for your magic coin, since it's a magic coin. And you saw how it works. After you force the card, you do just as I did in the performance. It really doesn't matter what card you pull out of there. They can mix it all they want because you're not going to try and really find the card. When you flip the cards over, like at this part, make sure that their card is out somewhere where it can be seen. Don't grab it individually and move it, because that kind of gives the thing away. But just kind of as you're going through, make sure that it's visible at the end so people can see it sitting there as you're talking about it over here. So when you flip it over, it's like, aha, you know. Then occasionally, when you go through, you won't be able to find their card. About once every 52 times, you'll realize that you managed to pull their card out of there. When that happens, don't reveal the little miniature card here. Just move the coin, flip it over, and you're the best magician ever. You won't be able to repeat the trick for the same people, but it looks really amazing that one time. So those two forces I showed you, you can use those in anything you like. All sorts of things you can come up with where you control what card is selected. Just don't overuse them, because if you start using them all the time in every trick, then they start to lose their power. So only use them when you really need to, and you know, not more than a couple times on the same person in one set of tricks. So have fun with that. I call that the card coin.